So in this video, I'm going to show you how to split features and recalculate their attributes. I'm just looking at the reference. That's interesting. Okay, so you want to split a feature along these lines, and there's two ways to do that. So there's the split features tool, which allows you to take the original feature and chop it up. And then there's another, but that has to be done manually. And then there's another way. So if you go into this toolbar's in the way, you'll go into processing and go to toolbox. You can find another tool that allows you to split with these lines that you've already made, which is a split by lines tool. What you're going to find though is that when you're splitting things, your lines have to start in white space or empty space and end in empty space. And you can see that's true for this line. So that's going to split fine, but that's not the case for this line right here. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is fix these lines so that we can use them to split the features. So the first thing that I'm going to do is make a copy of these lines. So we have this in a KML format, which is not really easily editable in the ways that we want. So what we're going to do is use this fixed geometries tool. If you fire this up and run it, what it's going to do is going to create a copy of whatever your input layer is, but with its geometries fixed. So this kind of does two things. It just says, hey, if there's any issues in the geometry, we're going to fix them. And also we can make a copy that we can then work with. So I just use this tool whenever I want to make a copy because it also has that added bonus of fixing geometries that are incorrect. So if I hit run, so I choose that KML, I hit run, it's going to create up here a copy, fixed geometries. So I'm just going to rename this split lines. And I'm going to turn off the KML. So we want to extend this line past the boundary here. So it's going to work with the split. So we're going to start editing on it. And then we're going to select the feature. And then we're going to go and choose the vertex tool from the digitizing toolbar. So if I select that, you hover over the line and go to the end point, you can see that there's a little gray cross. If you hover over that gray cross, or I think it's an add, probably an adding symbol. If you click on that, it's going to allow you to create a new vertex on that line. So, and then you can click outside of the boundary to extend that vertex, right click to finish the line, and then save your edits. And then we can unselect the features, deselect the features. Now this line can be used to split this feature. Okay, so now that that's done, we have split lines that we can use if we want to do it quickly using the split by lines tool, split with lines, sorry. Or we can do it manually using the split features tool, which you have experience using. So now we have to figure out what we want to split, what features we want to split. So I see that if we look in the attribute table here, this little button docks the attribute table, which is super helpful. We see that we have 4 shapes here. One of them is the reserve. It's probably hiding behind that, this feature. This one is the SU. This one is the stratum, and this is the hole opening. So presumably there's only one of those that you're going to want to be editing. In this case, I believe you wanted to split strata. Okay, so I'm going to find the stratum polygon. I'm going to make a copy of it quickly. I'm going to go fix geometries. If you created your own toolbars, you can save these tools to those toolbars that you've made for quick access. So I'm just going to select that one here. So that's the strata. I'm going to make a quick copy of it. So the input layer is that. I'm going to say selected features only and then run it. What you're going to see is Oh, it looks like, there we go. So here's the stratum that we want to split. So now we can go find the split lines. We have the stratum that we want to split, and we can run the split with lines tool. Split lines. If we pull this up, this layer is called fixed geometry, so we could have renamed that, but it's fine in this case. That is the layer we want to split. We're going to choose our split lines layer, and we're just going to run it. As you can see, it's going to output this split feature class, or not feature class, it's a layer. If I turn off the lines, you can see that it's split exactly where we need them to be. The only thing that's left here is you see that these probably should be together as their own stratum, because when it splits every feature that is connected together, gets its own feature. So, okay, let me get rid of that. So if we want to merge these together, we can turn on editing, select both features, and we're going to go up to the advanced digitizing toolbar and go merge selected features. Here you can choose the feature that you want to merge the other one with, which attributes you want to keep. In this case, they're the same. You can automatically take it from the largest area by pressing this button down here, or you can just select one of these depending on which one you want. So this will be this one, this will be this one. And then you can just say, I want it from that feature. So you can click there, and then go OK. And then you can see this is now merged into one feature. Save your edits there. So here we have 3 strata. What we might want to do, so I'm going to dock this. So it's saying 1, 2, 3. So it's saying that we have some small issues. So I don't know, there's these little polygons that are made sometimes when you split things, and they're not valid polygons. So one way to find those is to go and recalculate the shape area. So what the shape area doesn't recalculate on its own, it does in ArcGIS, but here we have to do this ourselves. So we're going to go we want to deselect features and go to calculate our open field calculator. So we're going to go update existing field and go to the shape area. And then in the expression, we're going to go $area. That's going to give us the area of each feature. If we want it in hectares, we can go $area divided by 10,000. And then we're going to run that, just go OK. And it's going to give us a list of areas for those features. You can see a few of these features have an area of 0. That's a telltale sign of invalid geometry. This is just kind of, I don't know why this happens necessarily. Something to do with the algorithm of how it splits things, but you might have to clean those up. So I'm going to take these ones with an area of 0, and I'm going to delete them and then save my edits. And then you can see we have just the 3 that we want here, and we have the area of each in hectares. Now, what you might want to do is come and edit these. I don't know, say this one is B and this one is C. Say I don't really know. That here too. B. So now we have this. Save that. We have these 3 feature, this layer with 3 features for each of our strata. So now that we have that, we go back into the original here, and we'd want to replace basically the strata in the original with the new ones that we've created. So we're going to find, here's our stratum here. So this one, we have a copy of this, so we're just going to delete the stratum here. So I'll start editing, delete that stratum. And then I'm going to go into our fixed geometries. I'm going to select all, this split. Split is where we have our new ones. Select those and go Control C, or I believe there's a copy somewhere here. I just never use it. Copy, here we go. Copy features. And then go and select the layer that you want to put them into and go paste features or Control V. And then you'll see that we'll open the attribute table for that layer now, and you'll see that you have your 3 new strata. And then you can save your edits. Okay, so that's one way of, and you can see that the area has been changed. We have this in hectares for these 3 and in square meters for these. So you might want to recalculate those again. Again, it's as easy as you don't want to have any selected features. You'll go into the calculate features, update existing field shape area, $ area. So the $ allows you to access, what am I trying to say? Geometry statistics. So if you wanted to recalculate the length of the perimeter, you go $length. This is what you do if you had to recalculate a, you had a line feature class like roads, and you wanted to recalculate the length of the roads. Anyway, so area divided by 10,000, it's going to give us our area in hectares. Run it. You can see now we have the 3 strata, the reserve, and have your SU, 1 SU, and the block area. Now, if you also needed to replace the SUs, you could just basically copy and paste these, copy these, and then paste them over again into this, the Control C, Control V into this layer, and then basically just change the attributes. If you wanted to, for example, replace the whole SU with just the stratum, you could go select this and press copy or Control C, copy. And then you go down and select the feature that you want to replace. You see this whole thing, and you go to this geometry paster and go paste geometry. You can see that that feature is now just this. It's kind of bummer because it's hidden by this block feature. But, and then if you saved edits there, you can then just copy B and C now over to the SU. So I'll just go and do that. So B and C, because A is already SU1 now, because we used the geometry paster. So I'm going to copy those, and then I'm going to paste those over. It's going to add these again, and we're going to put those in as SUs. So this is going to be, this is unlikely going to, like, you probably wouldn't have to do this for this one because the SU would probably stay the same and you're just looking to stratify. You can delete those. But yeah, that's a way that you could, if you needed to change the SUs as well, you could do it that way. 3, 2. Okay, so anyway, that would give you all this back in your original shapefile like that. What we're going to do quickly is I can show you the other way to do this, where you can edit in place without these additional layers. So I'm going to delete those, delete the split lines. So we're just stuck with our KML and original shape. So if you want to start editing there, like you said, you can use the split features tool which I saw you did. If we go to the snapping toolbar and turn on snapping and turn on vertex, then it will snap to this, this other layer. So you'll always want to start your split feature in outside of the feature. And then we're going to go, oh, actually, before we do this, we want to select just the feature that you want to split, or else it's going to try and split all the features. So if we select the stratum that we want, we're going to go split features, and then we're going to start. So as long as it's selected, it will only split that feature. So we can go there, there. So this is manual. It's kind of more of a pain in the ass, but it's kind of edits things in place, so can be faster depending on what you're doing. So edit it or finish that line in white space. Right click to end. You can see it's made a split here. No, you can't really see it because this is in the way. This block is in the way. I'm just going to delete that right now just so we can see stuff. So if we turn this off, you can see that the SU is also in the way. So I'm just going to delete that too. You can see that now we have 3 features that have been created from the strata that we split. Again, you're going to want to, if you need to merge these, you can select these 2, right? And you can go merge. Run that OK. So that's now 1 there. And then you can go and do the same thing to the other split line. Here, split features. And then use snapping to go through and split that. Got one end of your line on each side outside of the boundary. That. So it's done another split. Right click to stop that, sorry. And if we go select features, we can see that this is its own, this is its own, this is its own strata now. Now you can go back into the attribute table and change whatever you need to here. And the final thing that we're going to want to do is you want to see the area of those things. You can see that the area doesn't really check out. We're going to recalculate the area for all of these. So deselect, or else it's just going to calculate the area for one of them. One of the features, update existing, go to shape area, $ area, divided by 10,000. No, that's 100,000. 10,000 is going to give you the number of hectares. Hit OK. And you'll now have the area for each of those parts. And then you can save your edits and have what you need.